Good evening, everyone. Appreciate you all being back here. This is K1DBC. All stations, please stand by. The Denver Radio Club Learning Net starts in 5 minutes. This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations, please stand by while the repeaters are placed into net mode.
PL off.
in general. Thankfully, we have plenty of combined expertise and experience. We meet every Wednesday, except the third Wednesday of the month, at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. These are in the Denver metro area. Both have a negative offset. The 2 meter uses 600 kilohertz, and 70 centimeter uses 5 megahertz, meaning you transmit on 144.890 or 448.025, respectively. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time?
0 s.t.e.m. Is someone running the net tonight?
Oh, is it not transmitting? This is K1DBC. Are you not hearing me?
My apologies. Wrong mic. KU0 s.t.e.m. listening.
Sorry, just to confirm, this is K1DBC Net Control. Can somebody confirm if I'm getting out?
No problem, drone. I apologize. KU0 s.t.e.m.
No problems. Okay. All right, perfect. Not a problem. Yeah, a little bit of a double there, but yeah, got you there. SUM, not a problem. Just want to make sure that I don't just start talking out to nobody. So yeah, appreciate that. No worries. Cool. Let's see where we're at here. So you can contact us via email at drclearningnet@gmail.com. We also post info at groups.io/g/hamlearningnet, as well as live stream and archive our nets and meetings on youtube.com. You can search for our club call sign Whiskey 0 Tango X-Ray.
W0TX repeater.
This is K1DBC Net Control. We'll begin by inviting Elmers only to check in with or without traffic. All Elmers, please check in now.
Alpha 0, Juliet Kilo. AA 0, JK, Fred in Arvada with traffic. Good evening.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control again. And Elmer is just somebody that has some information on some sort of subject. I previously said subject matter expert, but nobody's an expert. Well, there's experts, but you don't need to be an expert. There's nothing, no responsibilities that come with that. So if you ever have some knowledge, background of something, don't hesitate to check in as an Elmer. So once more, if you're an Elmer and you'd like to check in with or without traffic, all Elmers, please check in now. All right. All other check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups. I don't even know if... Did I say AZ or JK Fred with traffic? If I didn't, I apologize. Had checked in as an Elmer there. All other check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. The suffix is the first letter after the number in your call sign. If you can, please try to use IT phonetics as you check in and indicate if you have any traffic or questions as you do. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo Sierra. This is Barb in Wheat Ridge, W0BKS.
Kilo 0, Bravo Alpha Tango, Art and Aurora. Kilo 0, Kilo Papa Sierra, Kevin Lakewood.
Kilo 6, Hotel Juliet Victor, K6HJV, Tom Arvada, no traffic.
Kilo 0, Lima Alpha India, K0 LEI, Larry in Lakewood. And Daron, looks like your video
video coming off is kind of blurry.
WD0 CIV, WD0 CIV, Charles and Denver, no traffic. WD0 CIV.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. W0BKS Barb. Still hearing that hum in the background there. I don't know if you're using a handheld. If you are, though, and it's plugged into the power cord at the same time, you need something special to do that. But yeah, I don't know what else would be causing that. So W0BKS Barb got you checked in. K0BAT Art. K0KPS Kevin. K6HJV Tom. K0LAI Larry. And WD0CIV Charles. In regards to the video, definitely make sure on the bottom right you definitely toggle the HD settings, or 1080p. It might default to 480, but yeah, it should look okay. So this is K1DBC Net Control. Let me go ahead and here and drop for a moment. Yeah, hopefully it shouldn't look too bad. Let's see. Let's get rid of this thing. Okay. All right. Once more, this is K1DBC Net Control. Perfect. We'll take once more. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
0, Echo Yankee Zulu, Jim in South Jeffco. No traffic.
All right, Net Control welcomes and acknowledges the following check-ins. N0EYZ Jim. Thank you for checking in. We'll go ahead and open up the whole alphabet. This is K1DBC. If your suffix begins with the letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu, and you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, please let us know your call sign, your name, and again, let us know if you have any traffic or questions.
KE0NRE, Jim in Littleton with traffic.
Kilo Echo 0 Whiskey India Victor with traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
Kilo Golf 5, Papa Delta Foxtrot, Denver.
All right, this is Net Control. We'll go ahead and hold up there for just a moment. Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. KE0NRE Jim with traffic. KE0WIV Lewis with traffic. N0TRP Jim and KG5 PDF Jake. Thank you all so much for checking in. Again, once more, this is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, just a general Q&A show and tell for ham radio, STEM, electronics. We have plenty of combined expertise experience. You can check in online if you want, if you're not in the Denver metro area, as Bob just did there. I'll get you checked in here. And yeah, let me know. So over the air, taking all call suffixes A through Z. Please call now. Hey, good evening, Bob and all Larry in the chat here. Appreciate people chatting and watching. Don't ever have to participate as much or as little as you want. So appreciate everyone coming back here. Let's get these checked in here. So again, this is K1WC Net Control. Online we had WA4 MBG Bob from Pensacola, Florida. KE0RLQ Michelle over the air, and then we just had KE0SUM Jonathan. Thank you all for checking in. All right, this is a pretty casual conversation. If you ever want to check in, I'll take official check-ins throughout the net. You can always check in online. Or if there's just a lull in the conversation, if nobody's saying anything and you want to get in there for a moment, feel free to do so. With that, though, I will throw it over to Fred, AA0JK with traffic. The net is yours. Go ahead.
W0TX repeater.
AA0JK, good evening, everyone. Daron, you're a little out of focus there. But let's see. Notes I wanted to bring up. I had an email from our club president telling me about a website that has come available that has been put together by N9WIB, and it's for the technician license study. He's put together some slides that are really seem to be well put together. So if anyone out there is studying for their technician, or even I would recommend that even if you've got one of the higher grade licenses, to take a look at these and give us some feedback on your opinion of these slides. But they look pretty good, and I'd highly recommend checking them out.
What was the call sign again?
His website is Radio Signals. That's all together, one word. radiosignals.org. radiosignals.org. And take a look at those slides and give us some feedback as what you think. Some good review if you've already got your license. And it's a work in progress, he says. He's going to be adding to this as time goes by. Let me reset. AA0JK. Okay, also wanted to make note there of the September issue of QST. They've got a pretty good article on there on power line noise, how to locate it, and suggestions for remedying it. This I would suggest you taking a look at, even if it's not power line related, if it's just any interference that you may have. He gives you tips there on how to zero in on it. So let's see, if you have any questions concerning this or any of the other topics that we discuss, you can contact me at elmer.w0tx.org. That's Elmer, ELMER, .w0tx.org. Back to you, Daron, AA0JK. little out of focus there, Jerome. Can you adjust that? A0JK.
You should have seen it last week. All right, let's see here. Some buttons aren't working here for me. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, Fred there. Appreciate all the information there. Yeah, I was trying to bring some things up here. Yeah, Elmer at W0TX.org for more info. You can always email that. Radiosignals.org. Looking at that, it looks like they have a lot of YouTube presentations. Introduction to Amateur Radio. Yeah, the first lecture technician class playlist. And then SI units and prefixes, radio signal fundamentals, electricity fundamentals, resistive ohms. So yeah, just a good, it looks like introduction into electronics. So very, very cool. Yeah, and I was trying to log into QST as well. Yeah, it looks like they'll probably have, in the September article here, quite a lot of info, I'm guessing. So yeah, if you're an ARL member, you can always read that digitally in a PDF format or just on their on a website. So yeah, you could check out the articles from there. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, great information there. Yeah, another piece of information I thought that what you were going to mention, but he also passed it along to me is, as mentioned on the Sunday Night Nets, I think we mentioned it here as well, the Wyoming ARL section convention was to take place coming up here. I think I can't remember when it was, but it has been canceled though. So the YM or wyhamcon.org for more info on that if you were planning to go out there. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Let's see. If anybody has any questions about that, let me know. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and throw it over to Jim. So once more, does anybody have any comments and questions about anything else or anything we've spoken about so far about the QST, latest QST, or the radiosignals.org, or any Elmer information? Go ahead. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. With that, then, we'll go ahead and throw it over to Jim, KE0NRE. With traffic, the net is yours. Go ahead.
KE0NRE here. Thank you for taking the net tonight, Daron. I've been dabbling a little bit in breadboarding analog circuits with discrete components and having some success with that, following other people's recipes and instructions, but I'd kind of like to branch off on my own and try to do some things, but sometimes experimenting with real electricity and actual devices can get a little bit risky. Not so much for me, but for those devices when I screw up. And I wondered if anybody had experience or suggestions about using some circuit simulation programs. I understand there's a commercial version of one that's called P-Spice, but it's out of my price range, and I wondered if anybody knew of good alternatives or some other way to go about the process of network simulation. So with that, I'll toss it back to Net Control. This is KE0NRE.
All right, this is K1DBC. Good question there. I was kind of just looking into this earlier over the weekend, trying to do some breadboarding projects and just trying to do some simple things. I'll have to bring up the links to that. But what I ran into, or for simulating, is what I had found is the Autodesk solution, which is free, tinkercad.com. I don't know if it will be able to do exactly what you're looking for, but it is free, so you just need to go in and make an account and sign into it. And I'm trying to bring it up now. I was just trying to do some basic circuit simulation. They have a bunch of these lessons that you just go through, and it have to it's not coming up here, but yeah, you can do circuit design and yeah, let me try to bring that up a little bit more info on that. PSpice I have heard of. I don't know much about it, but I'll throw it out to the net. Does anybody have any information in regards to electronic circuit simulation, maybe up to the grade of PSpice or some commercial grade software? Go ahead. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at another article on hackaday.com comparing some of the simulation tools. I have to bring that up again here too. But NRE, go ahead on that. I don't know if you have any other further questions or comments on that. Go ahead.
W0TX repeater.
KE0NRE. I have used Tinkercad in the past for doing some 3D modeling and 3D printing. I was unaware that there was a capability of doing network simulation on it, but I'll go back and take a look and explore that area. I appreciate the lead. Thanks very much, Daron. Back to net, KE0NRE.
KG5 PDF.
All right. Yeah, good information there. Yeah, they do have 3D modeling as well as not sure if it's going to be as much as you're wanting. It has some basic simulation, but yeah, there's some interesting things you could do there, and yeah, check that out. So yeah, PDF, KG5 PDF. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind of in the same boat with you there, Daron. Yeah, they do have an electronics function on Tinkercad there for sure, and super cool. And a lot of that Arduino type drop-in stuff he's got going there on the screen, if you can see that. But I do believe they have some discrete components in there, and I kind of got in there once upon a time, and I never hadn't come back around to doing much with it, since I did have a whole parts box full of a lot of things, and then just hadn't done a lot with it lately. So yeah, the only I guess the reimbursement for using said system is your project is public and open source at that point, which generally wouldn't be too much of a concern. And I think they even have a whole community around some forums and things like that too. You may even find useful. But yeah, we would certainly love to hear your findings there if you get into it. KG5 PDF.
All right, perfect. KG5 PDF. Yeah, yeah. As you can see on the screen here, yeah, you can just kind of drop in place certain they call them starters, but it would probably just be different scenarios of a push button and digital read, servos, putting out a tone, things like that. And I can't find the exact lesson that I was going through, but it was really just a nice introduction into this is what the components are, things like that. So I'd have to find that. But yeah, Tinkercad has a free option. It definitely wouldn't hurt to check that out. So yeah, very, very cool. Appreciate the information there, PDF as well, of some knowledge of that as well. So yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing a YouTube stream once in a while of breadboarding and just getting into some of these basic things, because it's I just have some of these components just sitting around, so I might as well try to do something with them. So yeah, that, and let me drop here for a moment. That in conjunction with the Arduino Project Hub. If you go to create.arduino, arduino.cc/project hub, there's just a bunch of projects listed, and you can sort it by lots of things and filter by lots of things there. Most popular, difficulty, types, things like that. I was looking at doing like a piano or something, but like just a few push buttons on a breadboard. Let me see if I can find that. Just some basic parts, some jumpers and wires and Arduino. So if you have any of these things and you want to start just playing around with them, I might start doing a stream of that. I'll have to find a good date to do that. But yeah, breadboarding is a lot of fun. If you don't know what it is, it's I'm showing on screen here. It's these white boards here, and instead of it requires basically putting no soldering to put together complex electronics, and it's mostly for a learning tool. And then eventually, if you were to make a product, you would design it on a real PCB, things like that. So. Really, really cool stuff here. And then, as we were kind of mentioning, you can simulate these things before even trying them. So, and you can use that as a troubleshooting tool. If you are creating something, you can go and try to simulate it and see what, if you can recreate it and fix it. So, a lot of cool stuff here, NRE. So, I'll throw it back to you, KE0NRE. Jim, go ahead.
Well, thanks, Daron. That's some really handy information. I'm going to explore those links that I know you're going to put in an email that you send out to everybody, and I'll follow up on that. It sounds like there's some really cool stuff out there, especially if you're going to get into hybrid design involving analog and digital together. It sounds like either your Arduino area or Tinkercad could be really good resources. So I'm looking forward to seeing that collection of information, and I'll follow up on it. Thanks very much for the suggestions tonight. Back to net, KE0NRE.
All right, KE0NRE. This is K1DBC. Yeah, great question there. Yeah, this is definitely a lot of fun. This is stuff you can go buy at your local micro center if you're here in the Denver metro area. A lot of fun. Michelle put a comment here. I didn't even see that. Haven't used it, but Analog Devices has one called LT-Spice. Yeah, we were talking about that one as well. No, P-Spice. Yeah, you're right. LT-Spice is another one as well. Analog.com. Good suggestion there as well. Appreciate it. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We did have another person that had traffic. I'll get back to you here in just a minute. But at the moment, I'll go ahead and take this time to take any official check-ins. So if you've just tuned in, this is Daron, Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. It's an on-air meeting for radio amateurs seeking help and Elmers giving their time to help us. Just a general Q&A about electronics, STEM, s.t.e.m. Everyone is welcome to join in. If there's anyone who wishes to check in at this time, please do so with your call sign. If you can, try to use ITU phonetics. State your name, and if you have any traffic or questions for the net, please call now.
W0 Foxtrot Charlie, Jerry with a comment in Lone Tree.
All right, we had W0FFC, Jerry, with a comment. I'll get back to you here in just a minute as well. All right, once more, any other check-ins to the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net at the moment, please call now.
Hello, Delta 0 Whiskey Papa Quebec. Tom, no traffic.
W0TX repeater. W0.
Club Learning Net. It's an exclusive with All right, this is K1WC Net Control. I was trying to go back and get that. There was a Whiskey Papa Quebec call, and I missed the first part of that. Can you go ahead and repeat your call, sign your name, please? Thank you.
Kilo Delta 0 Whiskey Papa Quebec. Tom, no traffic.
All right, gotcha that time, Tom. KD0WPQ, got you checked in. One more time, anybody else at the moment like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
Is really high on using that end-fed, and some suggestions is really high suggestions on using that end-fed, and some suggestions is really high suggestions.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
You're doubling with everybody.
This is K1DBC Net Control. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Hopefully it's okay now. There was a double to begin in there with. It may have been RLQ Michelle. I'm not too sure. I'll get back to you here in just a minute. But yeah, I did get you in there, Lewis. K0WIV, checking back in from last week. Yeah, go ahead and speak for. Go ahead and check for a signal report. I just want to make sure we're not hearing any weird audio issues. Go ahead.
Check for a signal report.
K0WIV for signal check.
Okay, another double in there, but I think I got it. WIV. Yeah, you sounded good. And then, sorry, that there was another person in there. Go ahead and try once more. I apologize. Okay, sorry about that. So I'll go ahead and call back on you here in just a minute to who had ever doubled. So Lewis, yeah, go ahead. K0WIV, go ahead.
I'll do the quick check. I'm not doubling anymore, right? My audio sounds good.
Is that just... This is K1DBC. I don't know if you guys keep doubling exactly at the same time, but at least when you're keying up WIV, I am hearing something else in your background. Sorry, just once more here. I apologize. Just go ahead and if it's just go ahead and call back. Just Lewis, K0WIV. Go ahead. Sorry.
I have a feeling somehow my tone got turned off. This is K0WIV. How copy now?
Yeah, you still got something in your background or something. I don't know. That's kind of weird. I'm just hearing another person kind of speaking while you're talking, just in your background. It's just, I don't know if it's just a radio that you have in the background, but I'm hearing something else. But I don't know what's going on there. If you want to try to go ahead and pass your traffic, we'll see how this goes. I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to pass the traffic now. I'm trying to get on the radio. So it says K0WIV. How copy?
All right, yeah, not as good as the first radio, but definitely not doing that weird audio issue. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we should be able to hear what you have to pass. Yeah, so go ahead.
All right, yeah, I'll have to look into that. I had to reprogram something, so maybe I'm, I don't know, petrifying on myself somehow. Anyway, this is K0WIV. I had talked last week in reference to an end-fed half wave, and ended up, I thought it was halfwave, it ended up being a random wire, and as a suggestion from a couple of people on the net, what all I had done. I just want to make sure I'm still going through correct, right? Sounding good?
Yep, this is K1DBC Net Control. We hear you just loud and clear. WV, go ahead.
Yeah, so on the first thing that was mentioned was my ground connection, and I did run a 12-gauge wire from the service entrance at my PTH over to where my antenna grounding and surge and all that kind of stuff is at. And it really didn't make any difference. I haven't installed anything permanently there, but no noticeable difference, no noise floor change, nothing like that. So eventually I'll get that in, but not at the time. What I did end up doing was putting a radial, or my portable radial system that I've got for a 20-meter vertical that I deploy every now and then onto the ground side of my 9100, and that definitely helped getting a lot more wire. I had 5 radios on there.
Let's see if that drop is intentional here. This is K1DBC. You had just dropped out there, Lewis, K0WIV, after speaking about the 91 Unan. I don't know if you can hear us still. If you can, go ahead and keep transmitting. Go ahead.
Yeah, the 746 is so much a better, such a better radio than the little portable. Anyway, yeah, after I put the radio system on there, it definitely helped be able to actually hear some signals, and got down to South America today on HF. And yeah, no, I was pretty happy with it. Anyway, this is K0WIV, and I'm having a lot of radio issues, so I'll listen and see if I can get it going here in a little bit. Anyway, K0WIV, back to that.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, K0WIV. I think you may have dropped halfway during transmission, potentially. I don't know. We heard about the 91 Unan, and then it dropped for a minute, and then I called back, and then you came back with the 746, the ICOM 7046 radio. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to pass, but yeah, glad to hear that with that different radio in there, it's making a world of difference. And the portable radial vertical you had mentioned as well. So yeah, appreciate you coming back on that. I don't know if you have any other further comment on that. Go ahead.
No other real comments on that. Otherwise, other than I appreciate the net. Could be able to ask questions and all that. Yeah, I'll have to look at it. I had reprogrammed something and try to put it into the memory, and I'm wondering if I put something in there weird, because usually don't heterodyne, which is what it sounded like was happening earlier. Maybe a little bit later, if there's something else going on, I'll try jumping in there and seeing if I can figure out why it sounded like I was doubling with myself. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on. Anyway, K0WIV, appreciate the net, appreciate you, and all the Elmers on here. K0WIV, back to net.
All right, sounds good. No problem. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, glad you were able to get that worked out. This K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, over on our groups.io/ham learning net, put a whole list of links in here from last week's net. Some of them a little bit irrelevant because it didn't end up being an NFED half wave, but instead of a random wire. But yeah, a lot of links on there talking about the 80 meter band in general. Is kind of a noisy band, and yeah, a lot of cool information about common mode chokes. So just some good general information about all that. So really cool. Glad to hear the follow up on that. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, I'm not too sure what was happening on your other radio there. That was kind of odd. If somebody actually was trying to get in there when when K0WIV Lewis was transmitting, or if you had any other follow-ups on that, go ahead. This is K1DBC Net Control. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Let's see. So once more, if there was anybody else that was trying to get in there, or if anybody has any comments or questions in regards to what we've spoken about so far, or what Lewis had just passed there, go ahead.
Yeah, this is W0TX Charles in Denver. Anyway, I didn't hear anybody. So, I don't know if Fred's around tonight or not. But anyways, I've seen in the new QST, they had a loop antenna that normally they had for sale for many years, that you could transmit 100 watts to, I guess. Anyway, they came out with a brand new one. You can transmit 1,500 watts to, and the price is extremely expensive. Of course, that depends on how good the antenna is. It might be worth every penny. Anyhow, I think it was around $3,000. So anyway, if anybody's interested in loop antennas, they might look into that. And if you're rich, buy one and then let me know how it works. This is WD0CIV, back to net control.
And comment, s.t.e.m.
All right, sounds good there, CIV. Yeah, I was just looking at, I think it's on page 2. I think the Cushcraft R9, potentially, up to 1,500 watts. So, yeah, so a little bit of a cost to that. So, yeah, KE0, s.t.e.m, Jonathan, go ahead.
No, I was just looking at QST also, because, the mag loop that I was looking at, it's the HG3 QRO, high power and performance. Very interesting. I'd love some reviews. I'm not sure I'm ready to drop the coin just yet. Back to net.
I don't think this is it, actually, now that All right, perfect. Yeah. Plenty of options out there. Yeah, you kind of just have to shop around and kind of get some reviews and see what works best for you. So, really cool. Thanks there. All right, perfect. So we'll go with Jerry, W0FFC. He had a comment. Go ahead, Jerry.
W0FFC. Jerome, I don't know whether it's my computer or whatnot, but everything on your screen on YouTube is out of focus. There was about 2 minutes of everything being in focus, but now everything is out of focus. So I don't know if it's just me and my computer or something from your side. W0FFC. Bye.
All right, no problem. Yeah, somebody else was having an issue earlier. It just depends. YouTube will kind of ramp down the quality depending on the speed, but if depending on the device you're on, there should be a settings cog at the bottom right, and you can put it all the way up to 1080p 60 frames. So it should be fairly clear. I think that should be the only thing I can think of, because it looks okay to me, I believe. I guess give that a shot, because someone else was having that issue earlier as well.
JK.
Yeah, A0JK. Fred, go ahead.
Yeah, that was me. You're all out of focus there. Can't read your screen at all. But back to the loop antenna. I believe it's page 10 is what was being referred to there. Precise RF. Precise RF has a couple of them. They're advertising QRP to QRO. And these are the expensive ones that Charles, by the way, good evening, Charles, was making reference to. And definitely pricey, but might take into consideration one of the articles they were talking about it, some of the RF exposure situations. You wouldn't want to be sitting very close to one of these things. But I digress. But over on page 12, and if you've got the Internet QST, you can get some specifics on it. And like Charles pointed out, they are extremely expensive. But it's good to see that the technology is growing. But page 10, September QST. AA0JK, back to net control.
S.t.e.m. comment.
Oh, I wasn't muted. You all right, Fred? All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, thanks for the correction there. PreciseRF.com for more info. Yeah, page, their numbering is a little bit weird. Yeah, 10, 11, or 12, depending on the version that you're looking at, of the latest QST magazine, the HG3 Pro or HG3 QRO, up to 1.5 kilowatts peak envelope power. Very, very cool. Yeah, K0SUM, Jonathan, go ahead.
Well, excuse me. The thing I like about the mag loop is it is expensive, and it's very directional, and you have to retune it whenever you move it, which I find incredibly interesting. So I'm thinking I need to form a mag loop little group, and we all invest $100 and we buy a nice mag loop and share it from time to time. I don't know how much I'd like actually owning and using a mag loop on a regular basis, but I find them very fascinating. KE0SUM, back to net.
All right, KE0SUM, Jonathan. Yeah, that's an interesting concept and idea of kind of getting a group going on for some of these things and throwing a couple bucks here or there, because it's expensive, but it probably have a lot of pros to it. Thank you guys for the information on that. Yeah, the right one here, the HG3 QRO 1.5 kilowatt stepper mag loop antenna. Very cool. So yeah, anyone else on that? This is K1DBC Net Control. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is WD0CIV. Just a quick comment on that. And hi, Fred. Anyway, what I was thinking is they have one for 120 watts, and then they have the 1,500 watts. What they need to do is make one that is like 500 or 600 watts, and then they couldn't keep them in stock because the price would be probably half of what the big one is. So, you drop it down to like $900 to $1,000, then more people could afford to buy it. But anyway, that's just my opinion. They'll never do it. So anyhow, back to net control.
Yeah, WD0CIV. Yeah, they. I think this market really needs to, this hobby and the manufacturers that we have, hopefully, will eventually reevaluate the market, because a lot of equipment is very, very expensive, and it's made probably for large contesting stations and it probably isn't made for entry level or things like that. So yeah, they should be able to hopefully come up with different solutions for different price points and still provide a reasonable product. 100 watts, 200 watts, 500 watts, something like that. A lot of the antennas we buy now are 100 watt antennas and the tuners, things like that. So yeah, maybe a cheaper cost, or a cheaper solution would be kind of nice. So yeah, these products, they'll definitely take a lot of engineering, a lot of science, and a lot of know-how. So yeah, a lot of research and development goes into these. So hopefully that justifies the cost. But yeah, good comments there, WD0CIV. This is K1DBC.
K0SUM, I have a question for your Elmers.
Yeah, sounds good. For the Elmer session. I'd love it. Go ahead, K0SUM.
Well, I have only been in the hobby for 3 years, and I find everything interesting. When I go out portable, I set up my vertical, and I use radials. Why is it that a lot of vertical antennas that I can put on my roof require no radials? Is it just the coax that's acting as a counterpoise? Because a lot of them you see online say, oh, no radial needed. K0SUM, back to you.
JK.
AA0JK, Fred, go ahead.
AA0JK, yeah, Jonathan just answered his own question. The vertical antenna, your shielding, your webbed part of your coax is your counterpoise. So that RF is coming right back into the shack, using that braided part of your coax for a counterpoise.
All right there, Fred, A0JK. Yeah, thanks for coming back on that. Yeah, I'm just trying to do a little bit of a search here just on ARL. Funny article or page they have titled No Free Lunch. So no vertical radial. Yes, it's possible to design a vertical antenna that doesn't use radials, but unless the antenna in question is a vertical dipole, you still need a pathway for the RF current to return to the antenna. This means radials. Without radials, a vertical antenna can still radiate, but not very well. Steer clear of any vertical antenna that claims to great performance without radials, is what they're stating here. So, K0SUM or anyone else on that, go ahead.
So I cut each one of those pairs to the different frequencies, 80 meters, 40, 20, 15, 10, etc. Anyhow, that's what I did, and it did make a difference. It actually, the way I have had them running was because of the limited space. It gave me, I had one radio going to like New York City and the other one going to Southern California. And the one going to New York City actually went clear around to Africa, and the other one went around or was it the north one? Anyway, New York one hit Europe, the one going south hit Africa, and so on. But anyway, it really made a difference. And then, of course, Florida and the others were kind of hit and miss. So anyway, I don't know. I still have to put more radios on the one I got now, which is on the ground, because the hail took off the roof, and I had to move all the antennas off the roof so that the new roof could be put on. And so anyway, I never got them back on the roof. I was going to find a used tower at some ham fest and put that up and put everything on that. But haven't had any ham fest, and I probably timed out the machine. Anyway, WD0CIV, back to the net control.
Well, the first part was a giant double between you and drone, but I caught the last part. Thank you. KU0SUM.
JK.
Yes, this is K1DBC Net Control. I do apologize about that, Charles. I did double quite a bit there for you, apparently. And we only caught the kind of the last half of that when you were speaking about the radials and the directions they were pointed in. I'll come back to you here in just a second. Sorry, AZ or JK Fred, go ahead.
AA0JK, yeah. I know I've attempted to do the same thing, adding some radials, only to find out that this diamond, I've got a diamond, a BB, that's Bravo 7 Victor, BB7V, telescopic vertical. And they basically told me that's a no-no, that not to add radials to it. So you might want to check into depth a little bit more with the manufacturer as to how that will affect your performance of your antenna. But in this particular case, I wanted to add radials to it, but due to the coil, the large coil that is part of this antenna, I guess that upsets the circuitry. So check with the manufacturer first before adding radials to see how that's going to affect the performance of your antenna. This Diamond BB7V does not recommend radials. Back to net control, AA0JK.
All right, perfect. There, thanks there, Fred. In regards to the Bravo 7 Victor by Comet, and they stated that no radials were required and shouldn't be used. Real quick, all I was saying while I was doubling there, I apologize, is there's an article on arl.org, no such thing as a free lunch. Let me drop here for a moment.
W0TX repeater.
Diamond, Jerome, did I say it's a diamond antenna?
Perfect. Thanks there, Fred. Yeah, Diamond, Bravo 7 Victor, Diamond antennas. Yeah, gotcha on that one. Perfect. No free lunch. They say no vertical radial, no radial vertical. Yes, it's possible to design a vertical antenna that doesn't use radials, but unless the antenna in question is a vertical dipole, you still need a pathway for the RF currents to return to the antenna. This means radials. So without radials, a vertical antenna can still radiate, but not very well. Their guidance is steer clear of any vertical antenna that claims great performance without radials. CIV, Charles, if you want to go ahead and pass your traffic again, I apologize if you want to pass what you had tried to get in before. Go ahead, WD0CIV.
Okay, yeah, this is WD0CIV. Yeah, the antenna, I was using the Cat5 cable for when I was cutting the twisted pairs and to the length of the frequency, like 80, 40, whatever, 20, 15, 6 meters, whatever it would handle. It was an older, can't remember who made it even. It had coils, I think it had 3 or 4 coils on it. It was an older one, and the manufacturer said, yes, go ahead and use radials on it. And and you were saying that the Diamond one, they say you don't need radials for that. And I'm not sure whether what we'd have to do is actually set up some radials that are just kind of on top of the ground and stretch them out with the Diamond and see, get out the oscilloscope and power meters and all this stuff, test equipment hooked to it, run some, low wattage to it and test it out, and then see what it does for receiving and see if it actually does hurt the performance, or it might help it. But anyway, what Diamond needs to do is make the same antenna with no radials, but they need to increase the amount of power you can punch the thing with. Right now I think it's at 200, 250, and I've actually punched 300 to it and haven't blown it up yet. But anyway, I always try to turn everything down so I don't get over 300, and because I'm sure that 350 would probably take the thing out. But and they're not too cheap to replace either. So anyway, that's all I got. This is WD0CIV. We're going to turn back to net control.
All right, perfect. WD0CIV. This is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, I guess when they say random wire, that really, I didn't realize you could use just like untwisted pair Cat5 cabling like that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, good information on radials there and how you have yours set up. So yeah, hopefully this has helped a little bit, Jonathan, K0SUM. I don't know if you have any other follow-up on that. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jerome. I'll add one comment. A couple weeks ago, I got together with another fan friend of mine, Bob, and he has a chameleon antenna, a CHA M-Pass Lite. And it's got a transformer in them, probably, or a ballon, and down at the bottom, and a whip on top, and the spike just goes into the ground. And then I put out 20 foot of coax, and we measured it, and it was totally flat. Across everything from 10, it started climbing at 160 meters. And this was no radials. So I made like 6 contacts on low power. But then the game was we were trying 3 different antennas. So then we spread out. It came with radials. There were 4 radials, I think 2 were 33 feet and 2 were 16 feet. We put those on. The SWR did not change. It worked extremely well with absolutely no radials for in-ground field antenna. I'm guessing we got the earth ground due to the spike, but it was really interesting to me. So that was kind of my latest interesting experiment with antennas. KE0SUM, back to net.
Oh yeah, glad to hear you got good results out of that. The Chameleon CHA antenna. Yeah, lots of information here on that, and yeah, they have a looks like the counterpoise kit here. Wherever that was. So yeah, very very cool. K0SUM, very cool.
Well, a follow-up thought there, Drone, is what amazed me was tuned very flat with both our analyzers across the band. So we programmed it for that, and it was like, 1 to 1 or 1 to 2. It's very low. And so I checked out 20 and 40 just to see if I could make contacts at 20 watts, which I did, and moved on to plain antenna. But without any radials, I just found that really interesting. It went against some of my common intuitiveness about setting up a vertical in the field. KE0SUM, back to net.
Yeah, great information there. Yeah, you don't realize certain things until you're out in the field and actually trying these things and saying really what the results you get are from these different scenarios. So yeah, sometimes that's all it takes is just a bit of just a little bit of a trial and error, and you can see how far you can get with as little as possible. So really cool. Yeah, glad to hear you able to get out in the field and try some things. That's always a lot of fun. So very cool. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We usually end around this time, but there's no hard stop. With that, though, I will throw it out to the net. If I missed somebody that had any comments or questions or traffic, or if there's any other check-ins at the moment, please call now.
November 1, Zulu Tango Tango. Dan in Denver, no traffic.
All right, Net Control, I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. November 1, Zulu Tango Tango. Dan, got you checked in. Glad to hear you on the net. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I guess I'll just take this time officially to take check-ins. If you've just tuned in, this is Daron, K1 DBC Net Control. This is an on-air meeting for radio amateurs seeking help, and Elmers is giving their time to help us. Everyone is welcome to join in. If there's anyone else who wishes to check in at this time, please do so with your call sign. If you can, try to use I2 phonetics, your name, and state if you have any traffic or questions for the net. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Probably can pass a couple of things here, but once more, does anybody else have any other comments, questions, check-ins at the moment for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now.
W0TX Repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I guess I'll pass a couple things here. Always great information on the hobby over on arrl.org/news. Top articles here, at least there was a payload lost that included some of the Genesis ham satellites among the loss in last week's first launch that failed for Firefly Alpha. That took off in Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. So in 2 minutes into the mission, causing an anomaly occurred, causing controllers to destroy the launcher in flight. So there was a ham package payload from AMSAT EA Spain. It was their first CubeSat that they had built themselves. So hopefully these things have insurance, and when things like this happen, organizations aren't footing the bill entirely, but yeah, unfortunate loss for them, so that's too bad. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Let's see what else here. Yeah, there's also the resource here, the ARR Learning Network. You technically do have to be an ARL member, but they put their resources on a page that really anyone can log into. I'll have to put the link into the groups.io, but it's over on it's GoToStage. It's like the same company as GoToMeeting. And as long as you can create a free login there, and you can view some of their past learning network videos, introduction to remote RF operations, antenna zoning, designing coiled ugly balloons, learning high altitude balloons. So yeah, hopefully, well, we'll see how long they figure out until anybody can log into that. But yeah, you don't need to be an ARL member to log into there. So I'll put the link in the notes. But yeah, ARL Learning Network webinar series featuring live online presentations from member volunteers who want to help you become more active, involved, and engaged in ham radio. So very similar to what we're doing here, and what the club does monthly, and very similar to what a lot of other clubs do. So just another way to get more information. This is K1DBC Net Control. I am just checking to see if I have anything else here for this evening. Let's see. Yeah, no, I mean, just we'll try to get more into breadboarding and hopefully put some more stuff out here on the channel. And if you have any interest in that, let us know. Because, yeah, it's just a great way to get into electronics and hardware circuit design and software. With that, I don't have really much else for the evening. There was a few other things, but I can wait until next week. So I'll throw it out to the net. Any other further comments, questions, check-ins, or anything else for the net, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Once more, any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net, please call now. I was just going through real quick here. Speaking about ARL, I was just browsing. They have a club search you can do to find clubs in your area, wherever that is. But I was looking through the Denver radio clubs and going through their pages and going through their YouTube. So I'll have to put some links here because there was a couple of YouTube channels for local Denver Metro clubs that broadcast online and have similar Elmers sessions, things like that. So I'll have to find that and post that as well. So, yeah, I don't really have much more for this evening. Always check out hackaday.com. Great articles on there. RTL-SDR.com. Another great blog. A great article here titled Decoding Voyager 1 Telemetry with Software-Defined Radio, essentially. So that's a really cool read, and seeing how somebody was able to, using public data, he was able to take that data and then scrape it and get the raw information out of it. So a lot of cool stuff on there as well. Okay, this is K1DBC Net Control. I guess this will be the final call for this evening. Are there any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net this evening? Please call now. All right. Appreciate everyone checking in online, checking in over the air. Great participation as always. This is K1DBC. Again, this is a very casual net, so you're more than welcome to, at any time, volunteer to be net control operator. Not too much to it. I can always help you take check-ins or moderate as such, but don't ever hesitate to let us know. You can always officially let us know via email at drclearningnet@gmail.com. Or again, we don't really. This net has been in the past been set up to have, like, I don't know how long presentations, but a presentation. So if you ever want to give a 15, 20-minute talk or something like that, we'd love to have that as well. Or if you have any topic suggestions, let us know as well. So again, we have groups.io /G/ham learning net for more info on our net. Also on youtube.com, if you search for our club call sign, Whiskey 0 Tango X-Ray, you should be able to find it there as well. Again, we stream all of our nets and our meetings, so if you missed something, you can always go back and check it. Appreciate everyone checking in here this evening. We had a total of 19 check-ins, so really do appreciate that. More people online, appreciate that as well. Let's see. We especially appreciate and thank our analysts. Thanks for checking in as Elmers. Thanks for helping out online. Thanks for helping out whoever does. Appreciate it. We especially appreciate the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters for this net. we invite you to join us on the third Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. for an Elmer session prior to the regularly scheduled Denver Radio Club meeting at 7 p.m. More info on our website, Whiskey 0 Tango X-Ray. Next meeting is going to be September 15th. Topic is RF and Earthquakes, presented by Alex Schwartz, Victor Edward 7 Delta X-Ray Whiskey. So he's going to give an interesting talk on RF propagation monitoring tools. He developed the RF seismograph for a solar eclipse experiment in 2007. He's an advanced ham, and he's going to just give us a talk about exploring the possibility that RF signatures detected by the RF seismograph propagation tool could also be indicating earthquakes. So, great presentation. It will be on Google Meet. There's a link on our website. Everyone is welcome to join that. Again, I do stream it on YouTube, but most of the chatting is done within the Google Meet. And again, at 6 to 6:45 or 7 or so, we have an Elmer session, which is just similar to this Learning Net, just a very casual Q&A show and tell. So join us there for that.
W0TX Repeater.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Yeah, that is next Wednesday then, the 15th. So with that, appreciate everyone checking in, participating in this net as always. Don't ever hesitate to make any suggestions or volunteer. Always happy to have other people in here. So yeah, appreciate everyone being here. Something I did mention last week that I didn't mention over the air is I am willing to start taking, if you have. I'm not going to be an electronics e-waste disposal, but kind of an unboxing, if you will. So if you have old electronics that you don't have any use for anymore, or you just want to ship me something or whatever, send me art or mail or whatever, feel free to look me up on ULS. I'll put my information in the notes, but you can. Feel free to send me your stuff, and I'll try to compile a video and start to unbox that. So just my personal home address, not a P.O. box, but yeah, I'd love to start doing that if you have stuff to either loan out or give to show off or whatever. So appreciate, again, everyone being on here. With that, I will bid everyone a good evening, 7-3 to all. This is K1DBC. Appreciate everyone being there, and I'm going to put the repeaters back into normal mode.
PL on.
All right, again, thanks everyone for joining. This is K1DBC Net Control, 7-3 to all. I am clear. Have a good evening. All right, thanks everyone for joining on here. Yeah, this is what I'm looking at on my other screen, and it gets a little hectic, and there was some issues to begin with. So appreciate the patience, but got through it. So appreciate everyone being here this evening. Yeah, glad to hear everyone, see everyone, and yeah, if there's any suggestions you have, let me know. But we'll go from there. So everyone, have a good evening.
NBC Television.